What's up, people? We are back with more of SC2VN. In the previous video, Mach had a little bit of a problem with his confidence. He had a lot of self-doubt going on in that moment. He went a little bit emo, but luckily Jet came running to our apartment, banged on the door, and just kind of shook some confidence into us. So yeah, I mean, sure. On the other flip side, it may have looked like Jet kind of made Mach her bitch, but you know what? We're just gonna call it shook some confidence into him. But yeah, let's continue. Apprehension hangs over me as I stand before the doors to Golden Zone fire. Waiting won't make this any easier. With a stride belying my frantic heart rate, I make my way to a table seating the 4 teammates I neglected the day before. But whatever reason I have to worry disappears when Axel catches sight of me. He rises from his chair and waves me over, leading Reva and Stunt to follow suit. It's only Jet that refuses eye contact with me. Even then, though she's trying to hide it, I can tell that she's relieved I'm here. Hey Mach, ready for practice? Yeah, and sorry about yesterday. It won't happen again. No sweat. Let's make the most of the time we have left, yeah? Yeah. Alright, Stunt. Mach, go set up your PCs and get to work. Stunt jumps up from her table and steers himself to my side as we make our way to the setups. Me and Reva played 2v2s while Jet was gone yesterday. I'm pretty sure we could be ranked number 1 on the ladder with enough time. No one takes 2v2 seriously, much less a ladder. Pfft, says you. But hey, good that you're already feeling better. If you puke, I'll know it's because my strategy is what's sick. Oh god, did they really lie to him? Or lie to the other people, saying that I'm actually just sick? Not really knowing the real reason why I wasn't there yesterday? I lift an eyebrow, trying to unravel Stunt's meaning. It's only with a glance back at Jet and then Axel that it clicks. Yeah, I'm all better. He smirks and peels away from my side to pick out a PC. Jet, Axel and Reva follow at a distance, the latter two setting up chairs behind me to observe and make comments. Even with my renewed focus and drive, it becomes readily apparent after a few matches that our practice is still going to be suboptimal. Stunt's trying his best, but it doesn't mean much with less than a week until the showdown. He simply doesn't execute standard builds very well. Axel says as much after I trip my way through another clumsy win. We might need to look into finding someone else for Mach to practice with. But there isn't really enough time. It may be more productive for him to face opponents on ladder. It won't be possible for Mach to prepare against certain builds that way. And at this rate, you might be right. Stunt. No one's going to deny your unit control, but you just don't have the strategic breadth of someone like Bolt. The young Protoss slumps over in his chair and stares off into space. I know. Sorry. Did I really come this far just to face Bolt unprepared? There has to be a solution. Practice with Reva, look for another Protoss, something else. Something else is just such a broad term, like something else could entail taking steroids and I don't know, reading the forums to read on every single build about the Protoss. I don't know, like it could mean anything. It could mean call Barack Obama and ask him for help. So practice with Reva, look for another Protoss. Something else, I mean, that might as well just be a final Hail Mary. I don't know what to do. Let's just do something else. But then again, I mean, practice with Reva. She does play Protoss, right? So I'm not even sure why she's not practicing with us, like in place of Stunt and just playing full on Protoss. But for some reason she just rather sticks to Terran. Kind of a waste considering she can play all 3 races very well. But yeah, I don't know. Practice with Reva, look for another Protoss, something else. This is such a broad term, but you know what? I'm desperate. Something else. If Stunt isn't providing enough strategies for me to prepare for, and Reva can't put the strategies that she knows into action. Wait a second. What Stunt said earlier. What if we practice 1v2? Eh? What? Stunt handles the units, and Reva handles the base management and picks the build order. That way, I can face the best of both. Ah, will that even work? Axel glances to Reva, who seems as surprised by my plan as he is. I don't see why it wouldn't. It won't be a perfectly realistic game condition, but it's better than anything else I can think of. That sounds kind of fun, actually. Come on, Reva. Stunt pats the seat of the station next to him. With a shrug, she rises to join him. Very well. Ah, see, this was actually a pretty good idea. I mean, sure, this is probably not what I would have guessed after picking something else, but it's a nice idea. A nice way to sort of compensate and, you know, use the good of both of them. Rather than looking at for, they both aren't this good in this particular thing, like, but they are both good in one other particular thing, and like quite the opposite. So if they help each other in that area that they're not so good at, then bam, you actually got a pretty decent and pretty decent Protoss player with probably a very high and different skill set. So yeah. Jet replaces herself in Reva's vacated seat, arms crossed, and expression fierce. She's intent on seeing for herself whether or not this will work. When Stunt is done joking about doing a fusion dance with Reva, see, this is what I mean. Stunt is just so funny. We load up a game with Reva and Stunt on the same team, and a setting enabled to keep Reva's base from spawning. So I don't have to worry about anything except destroying Mach? This is going to be great! Hey Reva, build 2 gateways by this base for me. No, we are playing standard. Come on. Okay, how about a proxy Stargate then? No. I can hear you, you know. It will not matter. Such is the beauty of standard play. I soon find that her confidence is well placed. Even with Reva's economy-focused build order, Stunt stalker harass makes my life difficult. He dances the single unit back and forth at the entrance to my natural, all of his focus devoted to its control. Yeah, that makes it really difficult as well, because I think the way that it works is that they're both playing on a separate computer, but it's within the same game, but it's basically just, you have to look at it at the controls being sort of split up, I guess, where Stunt is controlling all of the units and Reva is controlling just the economy side of it. So controlling the base, expanding, creating buildings, teching up, blah blah blah. So that makes it seem like actually that it is like a perfect player, right? Because normally you would have to especially with certain timings and stuff, that while you're harassing with this stalker, for example, you would then have to switch back to your base and then expand a building here, place a building there and that. So it's such things are very hard to do, and only the really top players can do with great success, without actually making it seem like they're with a flawless micro, basically. But yeah, in this case, because it's 2 players playing, I'm assuming that's how it works, and that's why it probably seems like it's actually just flawless micro. But it's because just basically, yeah, one person is with the mouse at the other side and the other person is just creating the base. My multitasking and micro are brought to their limits, and we haven't even hit the 5-minute mark. This is insane, and very, very good practice. I don't have the chance to spare a glance over my shoulder at Axel or Jet, but I'd make a pretty sure bet that they're just as intent on the game as Stunt and Reva and I are. The match drags on up until the Stunt and Reva Archon rolls over my paltry force with a well-timed and perfectly controlled two-base push. It wasn't even close. Well, they make for a tough opponent, that's for sure. You three down to keep at this? Are you kidding? This is amazing! I'm enjoying myself as well. The point isn't to have fun, it's to have practice. God, you bossy woman. Run a Nexus first and see how Mach handles it. How come it just looks like I'm getting destroyed every single time? It's incredible! Playing an opponent at this level allows me to see the game in an all new way. Stunt's control is precise and crashes against my defense like a wave, while Reva directs the flow of battle like a symphony's conductor. They have achieved purity of form. Through these repeated losses, I can see just how outmatched I am in nearly every aspect of StarCraft. The moments of weakness for an opponent that plays such a clean style are scant and short-lived, but they exist. I can create them by taking risks and using mind games or forcing mistakes. I felt these things on instinct before, but I can now see them for the truth they are. The element of human error is practically zero between Stunt and Reva. But StarCraft is a game of imperfect information. Anyone, even a perfect machine, is capable of being defeated. I'm done being afraid of you, Bolt. It's late in the evening when Axel calls our practice quits. 12 hours straight, minus breaks for lunch and dinner. 4 more days of that, and he'll be as ready as he possibly can be in that amount of time. We risk Stunt and Reva falling out of practice, but there really isn't any other choice. At least it won't be for long. Jet still hasn't acknowledged me with direct eye contact, but the animosity I felt coming from her this morning is all but gone. Neither Stunt or Reva seem even a fraction as out of it as I am. Yet as tired as I am, I find myself eager for practice tomorrow. I can only hope it lasts until the end of the week. I mean, I can understand that it's fun for both Reva and Stunt as well, right? Because they're both performing the tasks that they consider themselves to be the best at and enjoy the most as well. So it's like, for example, you know, even the game that you love the most, I'm pretty doubtful that you love like every single aspect of it, that you love 100% of the game. I mean, sure, you can love like 99% of it, but there's gotta be that one tiny thing that you're just like, yeah, I probably don't enjoy this much, or you actually just don't really like it at all, you hate it or whatever. But in that case, it's just entirely kind of cut out in this situation for both of them. So they're just, I mean, it's fun for them too, because they're sort of approaching StarCraft now as well in a different way, right? Sort of, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't have any experience playing the game myself, so I'm just commenting on how it would look like for me as an outsider, just kind of hearing what's being said and just observing and stuff. But I think it might be different when you're experienced with the game as well. I've got a few more things to take care of before the weekend. The VSL studio managed to fit us in a time slot right before the semifinals for Team League. I have seen some of the promotion they're doing online. It's being hyped as a KPGA versus Foreigner match. Mach's been cast as a villain, a last minute way of hyping up the match since it was on such short notice. The Korean Pro Gamer Association would not have allowed one of their players to compete otherwise. That seems they are beginning to sow the seeds for the transition from Brood War to StarCraft 2. It's hard to imagine that the talent pool for StarCraft 2 could get any more deep. Bolt is only one of a few dozen top tier players being held back by the floodgates of KPGA's regulations. A win against Bolt ought to show KPGA players and their fanboys not to shrug off those of us who switched to StarCraft 2 early. No need for so much bite, Jet. We switched because we were ready for a new challenge, right? She glances away, failing to match Axel's now wavering grin. I need to go. The rest of you, get some rest. Yo, Reva! Wanna grab some dinner? We can practice our fusion dance for tomorrow. A Patara earring is necessary for fusion between two distinct beings, Stunt, and their hyperbolic time chamber is a more apt metaphor for Mach's training regimen regardless. Is Reva an otaku too? What the hell? I don't even know Patara earring. I think I know what she means, but when I first read Patara, I just thought, what, potato? So yeah, I mean, I loved Dragon Ball when I was smaller. Like that was probably one of the first animes that I remember watching, I think. But yeah, I wouldn't even have known what the earring is called, or that it was necessary. A bickering Stunt and Reva exit shortly behind the stoned-eyed Jet, leaving only me and Axel to the half-empty cafe. Don't bother worrying about yesterday. Jet told you, huh? Even if she didn't, it'd be an easy guess. You weren't giving it your all when we called it quits the day before. Figures. A sigh escapes me, leading Axel to drop a hand on my shoulder. Just focus on the show match. If you still want to worry about sleeping in after winning, you can mope around the team house for a day. Despite my best efforts, I can't keep myself from spitting out a laugh. Things have changed so much since I met you and Jet. For the better, I hope? Yeah, you guys are so goal-driven. It's kind of mind-blowing actually. Best way to live if you ask me. And good practice for the real challenge. Don't think Jet will be satisfied with a little bit of money from Enoch. You won't have time to pick the confetti out of your hair before hearing all about next season's plan. If she ever finds a reason to talk to me again, that is. Jet has a way of dealing with things. Don't sweat it too much, and just focus on your practice. Right, I will. I rise from my chair, at last, checking my pockets on the way up for my key and wallet. Take care. I'm going to stick around and ladder for a while. Coach has to keep his skills current, you know? Will you join the team as a player when your contract with Crash is up at the end of the year? Who knows? Let's just worry about the next few days, yeah? Fair enough. Later, Axel. He falls right back into his chair after a fist bump, leaving me to stalk the neon-lit lights or neon-lit streets alone. The city lights have never been so beautiful. I have no desire to leave Seoul's electric embrace now that things are finally starting to make sense. What if I hadn't run into Axel at Golden Zone Fire? I'd probably be booking my tickets for a flight home at the end of the month, right about now. And without Jet, there would be no team, no goal, past the vague dream to qualify for the VSL. If not for Stunt or Reva, I'd have no sparring partners, no teammates, not to mention, no way to have earned Jet's confidence in front of Mr. Kim. Mr. Kim. No matter how he rubs me the wrong way, he's as much a part of my chance to stay here as my teammates. And Mr. Yun, who would have thought that the convenience store clerk I've been avoiding eye contact with would be the one to bring me back from the brink of death? Not death, just from the brink. I don't know why I added that. By whatever means necessary, I'll repay those that have helped me stand where I do now. I mean, that's kind of the thing, right? I don't want to say it's unrealistic, but it's just such a small chance from happening that the particular scenario happens to yourself if you were to do the same as Mach does, because I'm pretty sure if you just come to Korea as a foreigner with no real most pro players, yeah, they're already established within the pro scene, just in Europe or in America already. They've perhaps even won a couple of tournaments here and there, and then they go to Korea to basically just up their skill to take it to the next level. But here it's sort of a, I don't know, I'll prove to the online community or my parents that I can do it to become a professional, and that's why he moves to Korea without actually having the proper results to back it up. And in that case, I feel like it's just really hard to make it in Korea, and the only way to do so is actually probably due to this scenario that where he gets familiar with a Korean player and they are actually interested in creating a team with him. But the chance of that happening is just, I personally feel it's so slim, because most real good Korean players of probably the caliber of Jet and Axel, they probably wouldn't give you a second look or second chance after the way you got sort of destroyed by them or whatever, or the fact that you're not known or in any way whatsoever. They just wouldn't risk all that on when they have a stable team, stable conditions somewhat. Like, sure, they aren't the best according to themselves as well, but it's better than trying to risk it with a foreigner, right, who's basically unestablished and unknown. So yeah, I feel like that is the only part that is sort of sometimes really hard to grasp, that it actually pans out this way for him. But I can understand that it's probably easier and more awesome as well to ride for that 1 in a million chance than to come up with a scenario that is just rather likely for a foreigner, because then it wouldn't be as awesome as it is right now, right? I'm pretty sure that would be the case. But yeah, for the third time, if you scout the second gas, build a damn bunker. Don't be so greedy. Make sure you stay clear of his vision if you're going to take that kind of drop path. They'll try to roll over you with Colossus if they manage to pick off your dropships. Prioritize your Viking production first. Yes, just like that. With a couple of snipes on the Stunt plus Reva combinations High Templar, the Protoss army is left bereft any kind of area of effect damage, allowing me to charge forward and go for the jugular. Even with Stunt's top tier control and Reva's highly efficient production, I managed to push my way into their base and secure not 1, but 2 GGs. Oh yeah, we beat them. I leap out of my seat in triumphant victory. Out of almost 100 games, that's the 3rd win I've managed to clinch. It feels amazing. I wasn't sure that I'd be able to manage a breakthrough as a result of this kind of practice, but my control has noticeably improved. A good thing, considering the show match with Bolt is tomorrow. What, tomorrow already? Gah, she insisted on building more High Templar when I asked for Colossus. It was strategically unsound to push onto the ramp. You should have allowed our upgrades to complete and used the High Templar as drop defense. What do you know? You don't even play Protoss! Reva places her index finger on Stunt's forehead, easily keeping him at arm's length. The pair quiets their harmless squabbling when Jet rises. That's enough for today. But it's barely 6 o'clock. The day before an important match is the most important, not in terms of practice, but to prepare mentally. Jet says so to no one in particular, making it a point to ignore me when I turn to look at her. A new age method, huh? Better than the all-night cram sessions from the Brood War days, I suppose. It's scientifically proven to work. Besides, it's not like I'm giving him the rest of the day to do as he pleases. Damn, with Jet, even relaxation is ordained. Come on, we're going to Namdan. Again with Namdan? Pro gamers don't belong in a place without computers. Would you rather spend the rest of the day cleaning ashtrays at your mom's? You know what? You're all just jealous that you don't have a PC bang in the family. The rest of us share a laugh on the way out, with Stunt trailing us after us begrudgingly. Alright, well, it is a little while before the show match, so I'm just gonna end the video here, and hopefully in the next video things will be starting, because the show match is the most important moment in our lives right now, and we've practiced really hard against the deadly combination, the combo of Reva plus Stunt, so yeah. Considering our conditions, I'd say we're as prepared as possible, so come at me both. Come at me. Alright, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!